Hello. I'm just doing an update video on the PS4. I did a little more cooling for it, and it's a unique situation because sadly I got like a wrist arm tennis wrist kind of problem. Anyway, so I can't play PC, which is my love. I love PC games ever since I was a kid. Anyhow, this is the computer room, or now the game room. And this is the PS4 mod. Now, I played computers, or I used to before I hurt my arm, and dropped a couple grand into that, built it myself, and I couldn't play anymore because my arm got hurt. I had a GTX 680, well, it's still in there and all, but I was going to show right before the PS4 mod, different fan sizes. So on the outside of my case, I got a 200mm fan for the PC, right? Another one up here. And the CPU has 1, 2, 3 fans that are 120mm and an exit fan, along with another 200mm fan and another 120 in there and another 120 down there. Lots of cooling for a PC. High performance requires a lot of cooling. I didn't do water cool because of the inherent problems with leaking. But now, so I got 3 fans here. This is just a clear 200mm, black 200mm, and a black 120mm. The black 120mm is what I use for the PS4. As you can see there, mocks up, same size. And I went for that size over something, maybe bigger. You get to choose a lot of sizes. They range from 80mm to 200 as far as common sizes go. A 200 is way too big for the PS4. It would cover the whole side. Now the reason, I thought about a 200mm, but take off this, which covers here the hard drive, which I did put a SSD at the time, 500 gigabyte, fastest SSD you can possibly get. It's a Samsung 840 Pro. This doesn't get hot though. This is the back of the motherboard, the green here, and the hard drive doesn't get hot. It's an SSD. The normal hard drive doesn't get hot even if it's a regular. Up here is just chipset, back of the motherboard, nothing hot. Now down here, you can see there's a plate that goes all the way across down to there. It is the back of the APU, CPU, and GPU combined chipset mounting plate. This, on the back side, now this is the back side of the PS4 because on the front side here, we have my last mod, CPU fan. But it was good, it was really good, but it got heat soaked. What I mean by heat soaked is these little vents at the top here and the bottom weren't sucking any air, even in stock form without this cut out. So what I did is I put 220mm fans on the backside, and those are low RPM, 1200 RPM fans. Real slow, real silent. You don't need fans that are fast or a lot of cubic feet per minute, CFM, because this is just eliminating the heat soak on the back of the CPU. Just wanted to point that out. Show the sizes before, in case when you go to do it, if you guys decide to do it, void your warranty, etc. This will keep it. And I play GTA, different lot of games, Call of Duty, you name it. My fan on the CPU was ramping up real hard and staying at a high RPM, even though I had done the cooling mod. Now this, in addition to it, makes it run a lot cooler, even compared to the original mod. I'll turn it on now here for you. And never ramps up. The side ones don't. The back one over here does slightly, but it also ramps down really fast too. So you can see blue LED. I went for something that looks a little cool. It's a little windy in here. I am in Hawaii, on the island of Kauai where I live. Outside view out the window. Big valley, whatever. I have good air, but it gets hot in Hawaii. So that's where this mod comes from. On the back side, I'd like to show you guys just how I did it and explain it real fast. I wanted to use this hole that I cut out right here, if I can focus in, to go from the Y splitter, which has 2 cables, because I have 2 fans, and I was going to go right back in here. Now, the size and the surface area of the connectors for these two were too big to fit inside the PS4 because it's so slim. This is where it gets a little ghetto. I had to go and create a new hole in the back here. In between where these two meet was the best place to cut a hole. And it's a little funky, goes down the side, but it does the job. And for the most part, when I actually use my PS4, it's sitting way back here, not really visible too much. Gaming experience wise, the light doesn't do too much, but it cools it down a lot, makes it run faster. It doesn't drop frame rates in GTA or other games as it does when it gets real hot, heat soaked. It likes to tend to drop a frame rate. So yeah, I used dual 120mm fans, 1200 RPM, and the company that I usually go with is a Cooler Master. You can see these are not USB connected though. These are extra fans from when I build computers, because that's what I do for fun. Well, that's what I did for fun before I hurt my arm. And I'll really quickly go power this off. I was just going to turn it off real quick so I can explain how I actually mounted these and how I cut out the front right there. Now, the best way to go, I recommend a Dremel tool with a quote-unquote cut-off wheel. It can be used for metal, wood, plastic. It'll probably say multi-purpose, but it's called a cut-off wheel. Now, the best way to go for the cut-off wheel is to go 1/4 inch smaller than the outside diameter of your fan. So if this is the leading edge right there, I go 1/4 inch in, so that way when I mount it, it'll have surface area to connect to for both fans. There's many ways to go as far as connecting them. You can use right here the screws and pre-drill your own holes, countersink, and then put them in a slightly smaller hole than the diameter of the screw. Or you can go like I did, and I went screwless, and I used actually super glue and did all the way around the edge. You can't even see it. It came out really perfect. It is a permanent solution, but that's okay because I've already voided my warranty, and I've been running this mod with this fan over here for quite a while, and everything's worked out fine. Highly recommended. The whole bang costed me about 15 bucks off of eBay with shipping included. It'll bring longer life to your PS4. It looks cool. You can show your friends and be like, wow man, that's a really cool mod as well. I haven't seen too many of these mods personally, as I'm sure a lot of people don't want to void their warranty, but I build custom PCs for fun as a hobby, so I was down to do it. I would like to possibly clean up the cabling, but again, not too sure how to fit a slightly smaller profile cable inside the PS4, as there's only about 1/8 of an inch, which is roughly the width of a USB cable. Anyhow, that's my mod. Hope you guys like it. Oh, as far as cutting out, like I said, cut wheel. If you don't have a Dremel tool with a cut-off wheel, you can go with a razor knife, and before you cut it out, trace with a pencil on the outside of the very outside of the fan, and then mark in 1/4 inch with a tape measure. Make little marks, 1, 2, 3 on each side of the fan so that you have it close enough, and just go over it many times. You'll be cut, 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 and then you just keep going around in a circle until it cuts all the way through. That's if you don't have a Dremel tool. They can cost up to like 80 to 120 bucks. I did this one with a Dremel tool, but I know that a razor knife, given 45 minutes or so as far as cut time, will work. You just have to keep cutting over the same cut that you originally did, go deeper and deeper until it cuts off. I did, however, save, if you can see the other color LED right there that's not quite blue, that's what lights up the status bar. That plastic piece is right underneath the fan. I had to save that. It actually covers about 20% of the fan flow on the first fan. That's not a problem. There's dual fans, plenty of flow. So you can take that out and not have this anymore, but I took extra caution to leave the piece of plastic that's underneath this heat shield just because I thought it looked better. It was a little harder to keep, but in the end it ended up coming out real nice. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll comment back. For sure, this is my game room. I can't play PC games anymore because of my hands, so I figured I would go all out with my PS4. Fastest SSD you can get, dual 120 fans, cut out so that it doesn't have to suck through the top and bottom anymore. Lots of airflow, good cooling. About once every 2 months you have to clean the fans, do a little maintenance, but hey, if you have a gaming PC like this, and that's what you're used to, that's no big deal. You're used to using fan filters and cleaning out the heat sinks. I also, on my PS4, right when I installed these, because the thermal paste isn't adequate over a long duration of time, it gets real hard and stops transferring heat real well. Well, I put a Arctic Silver 5 thermal paste on the CPU. Now, that's really easy to do. It's not hard to do in here, taking the heatsink off and replacing. That's just one more step that I did towards longevity. I plan to have this for a long time as I can't play my PC games anymore. I only play the PS4 as the controller's a little more ergonomic. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions, if you need a little help, some comments, however, I'll definitely help out. I will say this, I'm not a YouTuber. I just had my phone stolen, so I'm using my girlfriend's iPhone 5 that she had laying around for video. So I apologize about maybe audio or video quality. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed, and that's my PS4 mod. Aloha.